Hey guys, it's Non-Zeros. Today we're going to be playing Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition. Alright, let's get into this. So, let's do story mode. We'll just wing it. I'm not too sure the differences between these two Zords. I think this one is more of a traditional, like, balance fighter, and I'm guessing the moves for this one are different. I don't know yet. But I think this one plays kind of like a Shoto. So while I do enjoy modern gaming, every now and then I want to, go back to the stuff I grew up on. Because gaming then was very different. And I can still appreciate what we've gotten at the time. Okay, so since we're fighting each other, let's see. Okay, I gotta time my attack with that super meter. Oh. Okay. This seems like to be a pretty good counter attack. Okay. Alright, let me see. Okay. Got the DP. Isn't there a dive kick or something? Nah, I don't know how to do it. No, there's a dive kick. Alright. Lip Sinker. It's a goofy name. Must be one of the American names. So it's lipstick, and there was music notes on it, so I guess it sings. So let's talk about the gameplay here. So, traditional fighting mechanics. Basically, you're supposed to time your attacks with the super meter here. Then you get an ultimate attack, which is I'm not used to seeing in fighting games, but I would say that control wise, this actually feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. I'm not exactly sure who put this together, but they did a good job. I mean, now I know somebody might be like, "Oh, it's Power Rangers," but it has, it has some legit competitive fighting elements in there. Use my ultimate. So it doesn't work too well when they're jumping, so you kind of want them on the ground for that. But yeah, I was saying, no, since she was a monster. But yeah, I was saying, so it has competitive fighting game elements to it, so I think it works out. Even though, it's like Zord, so, people want to play as the Power Rangers themselves. Because having a Zord is something a little different. Oh, wow. What's interesting is that the other Power Ranger game, which I might play some of on a different video, of course, has these Megazord battles towards the end of it. And even though it had them, I actually enjoyed them, and I was like, so I'm wondering if the inspiration for it as a fighting game was due to that. That it had that interesting Megazord battle fight thing added to it. So we got the Ninja Megazord. I remember back in the days when I first seen the Rangers going ninja. At the time, I thought it was cool, but I didn't know that it was from a I didn't know that was from a different series. You know, it took me until like at least season 2 to realize Power Rangers wasn't even American and it was just a Japanese concept. Woo! Slammed him. So in America, they kept the dino look. I forgot which. It was Sentai Zoo Ranger, but I forgot what it was called. It was called something Sentai Zoo Ranger. Forgot the Japanese name. But and then this one, this is when they were doing the Chinese. The Thunder Megazord is when they were really doing the Chinese theme, and this is the series that the White Ranger, well, the one we know as the White Tiger Ranger, was actually a part of. But they mixed it with the Dino because they, you know, they wanted to do their own thing. They ran out of footage. They didn't want the cast to feel, you know, like they were missing out on anything. Because I guess people don't, you know, some people don't take to new things. They're like, hey, how come my character's got new outfits, or, you know, I mean, the Green Ranger footage they ran out of very quickly since the real character in this show, he dies, so, but they didn't want Tommy to die. Silver horns. Okay, so since this is a monster, I will kill it after this fight is over. This one is a lot bigger. Actually, I do like the design of that. I'm like more focused on he blocked it. I'm like more focused on my my meter than I am the fight. I'm just watching the meter and just doing supers. That won't work forever. As opponents get harder, they're not gonna give me the time to do that. So yeah, but the Sentai series is something I enjoyed. And the Japanese version of it is the real version of it. The problem with the Japanese version of it, now don't get me wrong, the Japanese version of it is the most authentic version of it. But my only thing with the Japanese version of it is the character personalities don't change too much. They have this kind of cliche personalities that they're used to. And if you watch enough of the media, you're gonna kind of see the same thing over and over, which will burn you out after a while. But at least during, you know, translations and dubs, they try to, you know, add a little extra flavor to it. But I know some people don't like they don't like dubs. They want it in Japanese. But if the dub is, for me, if the dub is good, then I'm all for it. But yeah, the Super Sentai series is great series. It's still going. I love when they do the crossovers with the other series. I'm just getting beat up. I'm not even focused on the fight. But love when they do the crossovers with the other series. So but the last one I watched. Last one I watched was a certain one with animals, but I only watched like 2 episodes of that. But I do like Juken Sentai. Was the and then I did see a decent amount of Kaizoku Sentai Go Kaiger. That was with they're basically pirates. I ran out my super right there. They're basically the pirates, and that was like an anniversary kind of thing. So they had those Rangers turning into other Rangers in America. They called it Power Ranger Mega Force, and then they had it as Super Mega Force. So I think one of the next things I want to play is Final Fight. Maybe Final Fight 3, since that has multiplayer in it. Try to DP me? I was thinking the same thing. How'd I do the dive kick? He just did it. That move comboed too. I got the move list in front of me here. Let me see. Down +2 attack. Goldar. An American version, Goldar was a joke, but in the Japanese version, he was a much more serious character. So it's really interesting. If you haven't explored the real story of Super Sentai, especially the one we got as Mighty Morphing Power Rangers, where we had our Dino Rangers, if you explore the real story, it's really interesting. And then Rita Repulsa was Badora, and she was like way more evil, way more sinister. The show had a way darker tone to it. Very interesting. Green Ranger, Red Ranger were brothers. Well, half brothers, but they don't know that yet. It's really interesting. But yeah, I definitely recommend to check it out. Also, the Ninja Ranger one, what was that called? Because I don't remember all the names off the top of my head. But the Ninja, it was something Sentai Ninja. But we got it over here kind of like as Alien Rangers, but we got their Zord Battles. And the female was the White Ranger was actually a female in that one. That was kind of interesting. But that one is actually pretty cool. Well, the fighting is cool. The show itself was more of a comedy. But their outfits and etc. look really good. Zed is like, I could just grow big. I don't even need it. Actually, I wonder what... He was actually an American-made character. They just pretended like that big dragon thing was his. But that big dragon thing, that wasn't even his. That was just some ancient god. Because in the Sentai series, the Megazords are actually gods. They're not robots. I mean, yeah, they look like robots, but they're actually gods in this series. Dag, Zed be teleporting? Does he teleport as a counter, or he just teleports whenever he wants to? But Zed was an interesting character design, but if you look at it, it's like his Ivan Ooze. So they crossed it over with the movie. At least I got my DP. So did this come out right after that movie came out, or right around the time the movie came out. Now, when that movie came out, they only had that. They didn't have the Shogun Megazord. They had that other ninja. The other Ninja Zord. Oops, I gotta DP him. Come on, there we go. That was a lot easier than I thought. Oh, that was only first round. Oh, I gotta watch out. I just DP him to death. May as well, he's flying. Anti-ears. So I'll probably eventually mess around and try to use the other characters. Maybe I'll use the maybe if I decide to do another playthrough, I'll use the Mega Megazord. It is Japanese developers. But who's the development team? Like, who's the studio? Maybe they showed that in the intro when the game turned on. So many childhood memories. Power Rangers was the best thing since sliced bread when I was a kid. Like, it was everything. But we didn't have as much entertainment. We didn't have our cell phones, and except try hard mode, and you could get a secret code presented by Bandai. Try hard mode. Well, I don't know how long this video is. I'm guessing we should be at least 10 minutes into it. So I'm gonna cut it short here and see what other games we are getting into. So if you enjoyed the content, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll definitely be bringing you more. Thank you guys. It's been 9 Zeros, and I'll see you on the next one.